right here. Are we on? Hello. We're getting the lights. We're getting everything set up. We're going the right direction. Can you hear me? Joe said the mic's on. So hopefully everybody can hear me, see me. I'm not upside down or backwards. Shout out and tell us if we're looking okay tonight. Joe's fixing the lights. Oh. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Patchwork Party Live. I'm Karin. We're here at So and Save. Joe's playing with the lights. Making sure everything's set up good. Okay. Careful. He's going to trip over the lights. So if it falls on the floor, you know he messed up. Uh-oh. He's sideways. Okay, he's going to flip me. That's how we roll. We don't want to roll that way. We don't want to go that way. Because now I'm sideways. Hi. Okay.
I don't know what to tell you. It's not me. It's Facebook Live.
It's Facebook Live. So I don't know. We'll have to play around with this in the next month because this is the second month in a row it's doing this. So something, yeah. So he's going to try to keep me in the middle at all times.
Worry about it. I would just continue on.
We are. We're going to continue on. I'm watching him in his feet all in the courts. There we go. Well, hi, everyone. I'm Karin. We're here at So and Save for Patchwork Party Live, April 2023. Welcome. It was a rainy day here today, so I hope you were indoors getting some sewing done because you certainly couldn't work out in the garden today. But that is okay. We are here, and we got stuff for you today. I have got some really cool things. I've got some demos. I've got some nifty notions. We've got some new fabric. Lots of things to tell you about. So thank you for joining us tonight. Again, we're here at Patchwork Party at Sew and Save. And tonight, remember that we ask you to like and to share us. And that way your name will go in for a drawing for a gift card tonight. And PP20 gets you 20% off your purchase on anything that I'm showing you tonight for Patchwork Party. So check things out. We've got lots and lots of things to show you. So remember to like us and to share us. We appreciate that. So your name will go in for the drawing. And welcome. Good to see ya. It's summer, sort of, and we're happy to be here. We have some bright fabrics, some warm fabrics, all kinds of different things to show you tonight. And are we ready to kind of get going? Okay, I think we could start doing stuff.
And Lynn Mitem says she's already shopping.
Oh, Lynn Mitem's already shopping. Excellent. Excellent. So, well, let's look at the first line of fabric, which is right in front of me right here. This is from Moda. It's Union Station, a very, very pretty red, white, and blue kind of line with some extra golds and greens that they've added in. If you had Mackinac Island, that will blend beautifully with these fabrics. Joe's going to kind of come in and take a closer look so you can see some of the fabrics up closer because they are beautiful. And I did a project that I'm going to show you in a little while using these fabrics, and they were really, really fun to work with. So if you love red, white, and blue, if you like paisleys, there's some really pretty paisleys in here. Like this fabric is really pretty. That's a good one. That's one of my favorites. And I'm going to move the sign over a little bit. And this is a really good one too, this navy. Well, let's show it to you in white so you can kind of see it. So look at the colors in this and the kind of fun paisleys in this. Just really fun. You don't see paisley a lot anymore, so it's really nice to have a good paisley when we get one. People usually like paisley. So Union Station by Moda. Pick it up. I don't think we have any jelly rolls for this one this time around. And they didn't come in. So yeah, very pretty. So I'll show you a project that I'm doing with that in just a minute. As you can see, our sign. It is that time of year again. Yay! It is Free Fabric of the Month Club time. So if you've done this before, you know that every month you can get a free yard of fabric at Sew and Save. I know. Don't we love free fabric? I know I do. So all you need to do between now and the end of May is spend $250. You can do that. I know you can. So it needs to be in the fabric gallery section, so you can't buy a sewing machine or a cabinet. That doesn't count. So it needs to be fabric or notions, and you don't have to buy $250 worth of stuff. You could buy a kit and then put the rest on a gift card. Or a lot of people just buy a $250 gift card and use it to shop for the rest of the year. So one $250 purchase gets you 1 free yard per month. Some people get 2 or 3. So some people buy more than $250, one $250 gift card. Some people buy a couple. So you're welcome to do that. So between now and the end of May, make your $250 purchase. You could even play along if you're not local. All you need to do is make your $250 purchase, and you can buy a gift card right online if you want to. And then just simply every month tell us what yard of fabric you would like. And you can just go online and pick one out and let us know, and we'll get that to you. So you can even play if you're not local. What was I going to tell you? The first yard starts in June. So you will get your first free yard in June. Okay? So between now and the end of the month, $250 gets you free fabric all year long. That is a great deal. So I hope you join in and do that. Any questions? Yes?
Does it have to be in one single purchase?
Oh, it does have to be in one single purchase. It can't be, it has to be a one-time purchase. Let's say it that way. A one-time purchase of $250.
But it could be multiple items.
But it could be multiple items, yes.
Does your free yard of fabric have to be a 1 yard cut?
It has to be a 1 yard cut, and if you don't come in the month, you don't get 2 yards the next month. So you have to come in during that month to get a free yard. You can't stockpile them, come in once every 6 months and get 6 yards of fabric. 1 yard a month, and if you miss a month, you miss a month.
Or if you're online, call.
Yep, or if you're online, call or email us. Yeah, but it has to be every month. So any other questions on that? If you think of something, just shout out in the comments, and we'll get those questions answered as we go along. Okay, we're going to kind of swing around over here, and we're going to look at that table runner that's over there, and it's called After the Rain. And it's a nice sized table runner. It's 12 by 62. I'm reading like my notes that are way over. 12 by 60. So really pretty, super simple to do. We really love the quilting that she did on this. Look at it, kind of has this kind of geometric look, and then it has some circles that kind of breaks up those squares. But we have kits for this. Really super pretty, new boutiques that we just got in. So really fun project to do, very simple to do. If you don't like it, a couple ladies said, well, 60 is pretty long for my table. Instead of making 5 squares, just make 4, and you can shorten it up. So your kit includes the front, the back. There's the back in there. We have the front, the back, and the binding. All you have to do is provide the batting, and you've got her done. So really fun and really fun project. Pretty simple. You could get it done in an afternoon.
I did it in an afternoon.
See, Sherry did it in an afternoon. She didn't quilt it in an afternoon, but you could get the top done in an afternoon. Up here, we have this really cute bee fabric, which I cannot remember the name of right at this particular second. I have to pull it out. I know. And did we put it online? I don't think we did. And now it's in here a little tight. We'll add it in.
You can do it.
I can get it. Hang on. I'm going to have to stand in front of you and do it. Come on. Wow. Did we cram this in here tight? We're not putting this one back in. All right. It is called Sunflower. Oh, hello. I couldn't remember that. Seriously? It's Sunflower. And really pretty line of fabric. Yep. Sunflowers. Sunflowers. I wonder why. Look at the view. I love sunflowers. We were just planting some sunflower seeds over the weekend, so really pretty colors. They have little bees in them. And I did another project with this that I'm going to show you later on as we go along as well. So sunflowers. Oh, it's Lewis and Irene. Lewis and Irene. Sunflowers. That's why I couldn't remember it. Then from Riley Blake, we have what's called cotton shades. Cotton shades. It's a nice basic, kind of like a grunge, but just kind of tone on tone. Instead of a grunge, sometimes we love grunge, don't we, girls? But sometimes grunge has some, I don't want to say weird colors in it, but it has some colors that you don't want. Like this is a beautiful pink, but it has a little orange in it. It has some gray in it. And sometimes those types of things just don't work with your project. Where this has the feel of the grunge, it has a kind of that texture and dimension that a grunge has, but it's just kind of a two-toned fabric. So sometimes that will blend with the project that you're doing a little bit better than a grunge will. So Joe can take a close-up of the colors. They're really very kind of primary colors, very pretty basic colors that go with just about everything. So they have 26 colors right now. I think they'll be adding to it as time goes by. But just kind of a grunge, and they're down there as well. Yeah. White and creams and beiges, and then your blacks and grays and browns as well. Yeah, a little bit of everything. And then that's a grunge. So you can see how grunge has a lot more colors in it that sometimes just don't work with a project that you're doing. So shades and sunflowers. Perfect for our summertime. I'm going to set this down here. Joe can kind of show you the new, we've been doing the board classes. Everybody's doing board classes, barn board quilt classes. So this is a painting class, and we have our next one is coming up on Saturday, June 3rd, and they're here at the store, Saturday, June 3rd, and Thursday, June 22nd. The cost is $75, and everything that you need to make one of the boards is included in the price. So the newest one that she's doing is this really cool sewing machine. And she's got a butterfly that's new too, so if you go on our website, you'll see that as well. So the sewing machine is new. So some people said they really love the sewing machine, but they don't have a spot to hang another board or have a spot for a board at all. So you know what you can do? You can make the sewing machine quilt. So this quilt matches your sewing machine board. And it is actually bigger than the sewing machine board. The boards are 2 foot by 2 foot. The quilt, if you want to make a quilted one, is 37 by 40. So they have suggestions for colors on the front. You can do any colors that you want. Or on the inside of your pattern, there's a little thing in here where you can kind of pick and color in the colors that you want. And the pattern is kind of set up very nicely in that you're doing each piece in sections. So you're doing each section of the sewing machine as you're sewing and going along. I know that what you're thinking about all these flying geese, but I looked in here and she's using the method where you make 4 flying geese at a time. So that's really nice. They're going to turn out just perfect, and you're going to get 4 done as you go along. Really like the sewing machine, but not up for all of this sewing or painting. Look, we have the little pin. It's so cute. How cute is that? So we have the little sewing machine pin. Really fun. Can go on those bags, those Buy Annie bags that you're making. So three different ways to get the sewing machine. Just depends on what you want to do. Okay. We've been very busy making rope bowls. The girls that were in the rope bowl class have been busy making more bowls. So we got in more of the rope. This is in the Patchwork Party section of your website. PP20 gets you 20% off. We also got in a rope book. Excuse me. So this shows different projects besides just rope bowls. Look at the cute little coasters down here. Aren't those fun? Those would make a great Christmas gift. And I'm also planning a rope bowl class where you make the bottom of your bowl solid, and then you make your bowl around that. So that class will be coming one of these days, as soon as I get it on the schedule. So I have my idea, and I'm ready to work on it. So we'll get that going pretty soon. So they're showing you different, this book is really nice. The girls were picking this up. Different techniques, different ideas of different ways, different shapes of your bowls, different ideas on how to make them. So it's a really, really nice book. Great instructions, great pictures. Don't we all love good pictures? So good pictures. PP20 gets you 20% off the Great Rope Bowl book and some rope to make another bowl. So have fun with that. That's been a lot of fun. I'm going to come around here. Well, you know what? I'm going to come around here first so I get this stuff out of the way so that Joe can hone in on what we're going to be making today. So we have a series of these really, really super cute little pot holders. So we have the cow pot holders. Really fun. So we have kits for these. We have just the patterns, and we have kits as well. So let me show you the kits. The kits come two ways. They come with the pattern. So in each kit, there's enough to make both little cows. Or you can just buy kind of a refill kit that has just the fabric. So because a lot of people were making more than one set, and you don't want to keep buying the pattern. So one has the pattern in, and one is just the fabric to make some more kits. Okay, or you can purchase the pattern separately. So there's cows. We have the cows. Then we have, let me grab back here. We have cats. There's two cats. So here's the cat one. So we do not have kits made up for these yet, but there's two cats. So you can buy the patterns for these. You know, obviously a few scraps of fabric and you've got a cat. Okay, the cats. Then, of course, if you have a cat, you've got to have the dog. So here's the little dogs. He's really cute. He's like a pot pincher. So his ears are like a pot pincher. Like that. Really cute. These are so much fun to make. Great to get rid of scraps. Great little gifts. And then there's the hippo. There's a hippo. It says feed the hippo. And then you can see, you can put your hand into the hippo. We haven't made him yet, but he's in the works. And there's all kinds of other ones for the holidays and things, so you'll be seeing some more of these. So these are all on our website, PP20. Get you 20% off of them tonight. The July bench pillow of the month is here. So we have these. Of course, we make ours into a table runner. So this would make a great table runner for your picnic table. Everything that you need to make this is in your kit. You have to provide your own backing, I think. I don't think the backings are in here. Yes?
Mommy wants to know if those pot holders are hard to make.
No, not at all. They are a lot of fun. They're super simple. The instructions are really good. A little bit of applique. On them. You can do these little, like their little whiskers and things by hand or by machine. Whatever you like. Really fun and quick, actually, because they're small. Really fun. Little bit of applique and you're there. Okay, I'm going to move these guys kind of out of the way because you're going to want to be able to see what I'm going to show you in a little while. Okay, I'm just going to kind of come around this way and then I'll do a couple demos and show you a few more things. This is from Marcus, and Pam Buddha is cheddar and coal, as you can see. So it's the color of grays and blacks and the cheddar colors that are so popular. Yes, Joe's going to come up and do a close-up of these. Don't have anything made out of this yet, but I have a pattern coming and it's going to be really pretty. Kind of fall colors, but you know, just that she does that Civil War fabrics really, really well. And the colors are just nice and warm and just really nice Civil War fabrics. So we want to make sure that the people who like dark fabrics, we got you covered. And I love these, just really pretty. So this is going to be a fun project to do as time goes by. So Cheddar and Coal is the name of this by Pam Buddha. It's in the Patchwork Party section of our website. Please remember to share and like us so that your name goes in for the gift card drawing tonight, because you don't want to miss out on that. Then we have our little Mr. Uncle Sam wall hanging. He is really fun and simple to do. You just start out by strip piecing your striped fabrics together. You put a little square on here. I quilted him, kind of did like stippling around on his beard, and then just 3 fabrics here to make his face, another big rectangle up here to do the hat, and we give you some instructions to make his brim. And he goes together super fast, and he's really super cute to make. So he could hang on your door, in a little space in your kitchen, wherever. He's really fun. I took him and I made the little, gave him a little, instead of having it straight cut, you could leave it straight cut. If you're afraid to bind this, people are like, oh, I'm not sure I can bind this, but you can. You can do it. So I just cut a little V in the bottom to make it look even cuter. And he's going to hang up in our house pretty soon. So kits are available for these. Really fun and simple to do. The buttons for the eyes come with it. And we have the little hard, you need a bit of Deco Bond stuff for his brim on his hat. So we include that in there too. Yes? How long is he? Did we write his... hang on, I'm looking. He is 9 by 32. 9 by 32. So he's really cute. You could cut it shorter if you needed it one shorter. The pattern will make it this long, but you could cut it up shorter if you wanted to, depending on where it's going to go. So, Uncle Sam, 9 by 32, really fun project to make. You can get him done in an afternoon too, and have him hanging up in no time. I just stitched in the ditch everywhere. Up on top, it's really hard to see, but I drew a star up here, and then I just stitched a star on the top of his hat. You can hardly see it, but it's there. That's how I quilted it. Stippled his beard, and that was about it.
Oh, beard.
Yeah, his beard's got a little stippling in it. So you can practice stippling. Not a lot of stippling to do, but it kind of makes it look like a beard because of the stippling on it. Any other questions on any of that? Okay, let's do a couple demos. I've got all kinds of stuff to show you tonight. We did these a while. Well, let me show you this. This is awesome. How many of you have been working on bags? Been all working on bags, and you have zippers, and a lot of times you have to cut those zippers, and then you have to add the little zipper pulls, and people have been having a real hard time with that. So this little gadget helps you do this fast and easy. So a lot of times you're going to have your zipper pull, and then you have your zipper. You use this little gadget. It's called the zipper something. Zippity doodah zipper day. Zippity doodah thing. It has 2 little grooves in it. One is for a number 3 zipper, which is what your by Annie zippers are, and then number 5 zippers, which are a little bit bigger. So you take your zipper and you just slide it into the little groove. Okay, so it's just sitting in this little groove. And what it is actually doing is kind of giving you an extra hand as you're putting your zipper together and sliding it in. So you're going to slide this in. This is actually backwards, so I put it in backwards so that it would be easier for Joe to videotape. And so I figured out and learned how to do it backwards. So if I can do it backwards, you can do it forwards. Okay, so all you're going to do is slide your little zipper. So I have this, zip, this is actually backwards. So you're going to slide your zipper, since this is the back of your zipper, pull. You're going to use the back of your zipper because the front of your zipper has that little hump on it. So that's the front. You're going to match the back of your zipper with the back of the zipper pull. You're going to slide it in and pull. That's all there is to it. You go like that. Oh! But wait, you want to make sure that you leave your zipper tag on it. This is so much fun. I've been doing this all day. I've been going, look, this is so cool, you guys. You just slide your zipper in, pull it down, and you got it. And then all of a sudden one girl said, well, you got to leave the zipper pull on it. I'm like, well, that's no fun. But I can do it again. It goes that fast. One more time.
It says best invention
best invention ever. So you're just going to pull yours through, and at a certain point you're going to stop. So, and then just pop off your zipper, and you've got it. So it's really, really handy when you have these zippers that are already cut. You know, we do have the ones where it has that little bit of a tag on the end. You can use it for that as well. Those are a little bit easier to put together, but especially when you have a cut zipper, this is like a lifesaver. So our little zippity-doo-dah zipper thing. Did you want to see it again? Zipper jig. Zipper jig, which makes zippity-doo-dah zipper jig. Slide them in. I know, this is just amazing because everybody has struggled with this how many times? Best thing ever. And you know what? PP20 gets you 20% off tonight. You're going to want one. If you ever have to put a zipper tag on a zipper, you're going to want that. It's awesome. All right, I'm going to move my phone out of the way. We've had these for quite some time. We had them for a long, long time. And I think I showed them to you, like somebody said, yeah, over the COVID, you showed them to us. And we really loved it. And there's a lot of new people who said, I don't know what that is. I've never seen it. So we're going to show you how to use the Binding Easy. Okay. It comes in two colors, Binding Ease. It comes in, they call this peacock blue and coral. So it comes in two colors. It used to only come in the coral. Now it comes in peacock blue. I know. When I first showed it to you, all you could get was coral. But now we have peacock blue. This is also can be used as like an iron mat. Is this on? Nope, not yet. Okay, we're turning this iron on. So you could leave your iron sit on this. It withstands heat up to 500 degrees. So it can really be a great ironing mat to keep your iron from scorching your ironing board. I'm also going to show you tonight this little gadget, which is the binding wheel. The binding wheel comes in two colors. It kind of comes in a peacock blue that matches your Binding Ease, and also a purple, which matches nothing, but it's purple. But it's purple. I know people like purple. So it comes in two colors. Those are the two colors it comes in. And this is a great thing too. So I'm going to show you how to use these together. A lot of you have seen this, but a lot of you have not seen this. So this is a really great thing. And I just want to make sure that my iron is good and hot. Yep. So I have a binding here. This is going to go on one of our batik quilts. And I have sewn my strips together. Where is it? Here's one. I sewed my strips together in the conventional way with on a diagonal, pressed my seams open. I always press my seams open on my binding so that I have a nice flat binding. If you press them to one side, it can get a little lumpy. So I press my seams open on my binding. Then it's time to fold this binding in half and press, right? And I'm going to make sure I'm going the right direction since this is batik and it looks good both ways. I'm going to start by sliding my binding through these little tabs that are on the Binding Ease. Okay, and you can see already it's already starting to fold that fabric right in half. Then I can actually set my iron right on this. As I set my iron on this, I can just simply pull, and this will press my binding in half as I go along. Isn't that cool? So I'm going to stop and just pick this up because I don't want to scorch my fabric while I do this. But as I go along, I'm going to put it on the binding wheel. I know, because this is going to roll it up and keep it organized for me until or as I sew it onto my quilt. So I am sliding it under the, is this in the way? I'm sliding it underneath this little part of the wheel, and it has a little section so that your binding will slide right through there. Then it slides through a little slit in the wheel. Can you see that little slit? Sure. It slides right through this little slit in the wheel. Alrighty, we're going to get it started and get it rolling. Get it rolling. And so what you're going to do as you go along is just continue. I'm going to lay this back down now. I can continue to pull this through this easy and roll it onto the wheel. So the nice thing about the wheel is that it keeps it from twisting, keeps it well organized, and as you sew it onto your quilt, you just pull it and it rolls right off of the wheel, and it comes off straight, it comes off even, and it goes along, it just sews onto your quilt so easy. So I have like about 7 strips sewn together here. So I can show you how quickly you can come and press a binding. I'm moving. I keep it on my mat. Just this is not hot under here at all. So you just keep going, and I'm pulling, and it's rolling. And then I just continue to roll this up on here, and I'm going to have this binding ready to go in no time flat. I love how this just rolls onto that little wheel. And I just keep sliding it along. Any questions on that? So cool, right? How much easier can a thing be?
How much easier than that?
I'm saying. And fast. Like, because nobody likes binding, right? Probably one of our least favorite things of quilting most of the time is doing the binding. And I love how this keeps it well organized. Look at how nice that's going on there. And then as I pull it off to sew onto my quilt, it just rolls right off of the binding wheel. You know, this is really addicting. All you want to do all day long is just press binding because it goes along so easily. So I'm not going to do it all, but I've done probably about 4 or 5 strips now. So it goes that quickly. Here's another strip I just finished.
Amazing.
I know, isn't that cool? Joe's like, that's amazing. So that's my story on that. Any questions on that? A lot of you have the bindings, but some of you don't. And the wheel is just so much fun. Keeps it all organized. It's not all over the floor. The cat doesn't play with it. I can just unroll it and put it right on my quilt as I go along. Fun, right? Okay, I'm going to finish that later because you don't need to see me do the whole thing. But it goes really super fast. Ta-da! And it kind of matches my fabric. I kind of like it. Okay, so up to 500 degrees it stays hot for, or it protects the heat from, and just works great. 2 really great things. What's better than that zipper thing and the binding thing? Really cool. I don't know. I can't tell you. Okay. Next on my list of things to show you, there's more. Wait, I got more stuff to show you. You can't even believe it. Okay, so before we've had, and I put these on sale for you again because we've restocked because people have been buying these. We had the little Coaster Ride silicone coasters. So the Coaster Ride has, I believe, 4 coasters in here. 4 coasters in the Coaster Ride with instructions. And then you get 4 coaster refills. So you can purchase refills and keep making little coasters. So these are just a great little coaster to make as a gift. Instructions are in there, super fun and fast and easy to do. This is silicone on here so it absorbs the water. And it looks cute. We have little quilting fabric on ours. So little Coaster Ride. So we've had these before. Those are in the Patchwork Party section of our website. PP20 gets you 20% off. Then we've had the trivets and the pot holders, and we've showed you those before, and those are a lot of fun as well. And those are all restocked again. So again, you buy your first package that has the instructions and one silicone trivet. So there's small and then there's large. And then I think there's an extra large as well. So small and large, so you buy the instructions and one small one, and then you can buy the refills for each of those. And a lot of fun to make. But wait, there is more. So these are on our website. PP20 gets you 20% off if you haven't made one of these. They're a lot of fun. Now we have Snug as a Rug mug rugs. I know, really super cute. I will show you. I made these over the weekend. A lot of fun. So you buy, you start out with the pattern, and you get 2 silicone mug rugs. And then you buy the refill that has 2 more when you want to make more. And you will, because they're a lot of fun to make. So this is what the little silicone looks like. So it's the same as the other silicone that's in like the trivets and the pot holders. It works really well. Again, absorbs heat up to 500 degrees. You can throw it in the washing machine. I don't dry them, but I have thrown them in the washer. And let me show you how this works. So they have on their pattern 3 different varieties that you can make. I made 2 of them just because I could, and now I lost them. Oh, they're over here. Duh. Here we go. Out of the sunflower fabric, I made my first one. And when you make them, I'm going to demonstrate how to make them in a minute, but to put the back onto the front, they do that thing where you sew around, leave a hole, and then flip them and turn them. And that worked really pretty well. I would say when I flipped it, start flipping, pull out the silicone part first, and then it's easier to get it turned right side out. But then I decided that really, this looks nice and it's fine, but I really liked doing it and binding it, because I think the binding of it really makes it look nice and just gives it more of a finished look. But you can do it either way. Doesn't matter, whatever you like. So, and I also kind of felt like this was really cute, but I really just felt like I liked the just a single block of fabric here, showing off your pretty fabric, as opposed to doing a block. Now the block that goes next to your silicone pad is 6.5 inches. So if you had a panel, a little block panel that was 6.5 inches, you could use that and just put your little panel piece there. In fact, we have some of those, and we're going to make some, we'll show you how to do that next month. So you put your little panel next to the silicone block, and I'm going to show you that in a second. And then you put a border around it, quilt it, put it back on, either bind it or flip it, and you're done. It is that quick. So let me show you how all of that works. So I have one that I have going here so I did those 2 out of the pretty sunflower fabric, and then I'm making another one out of the Union Station fabric that we showed you, that pretty red, white, and blue fabric that we showed you at the beginning of the night. So here's the one that I've got started. So to make this, you want to kind of take, when you're picking out your fabric, and I don't have a lot of fabrics to show you, but maybe I do. You kind of want to audition some fabrics underneath your silicone mat, because some fabrics show up better under your silicone mat than others. Like this one shows up pretty well because there's kind of a contrast in the colors that are on the fabric. This one, this one shows up pretty nice too. Sometimes this one shows up really nice as well. So you kind of have to audition them. Some of them show up better than others. So kind of just look and see if you like how those fabrics look underneath your silicone mat, because it does, I don't want to say distort it, but it does kind of mask it a little bit. So kind of pick out your fabric that's going to go under your silicone, because you're not going to see that as well as the fabrics that you put on the side. So you'll pick out your fabric that's going to go under your silicone, pick out the fabric that's going to go on the side, and you will lay that all together with the silicone sandwiched between your 2 layers of fabric. So you're not sewing right on this silicone, because if you think about it, your foot would probably drag along this silicone as you're stitching. So there's never a time when you're stitching right on the silicone. You're always stitching on fabric that's up against the silicone. And my machine sewed through this beautifully, and I've sewed a whole bunch of these. I made all of those. and it doesn't skip a stitch. It sews really nice. I did move my stitch length up to 3 and either use a purple needle or like a little bit heavier, like maybe a G needle. You could do that if you find that you're having problems with the needle that you have in your machine. So all right sides together. I stitched that, pressed it back, and you can iron right on this. I mean, I don't like set my iron on this, but I do like stitch right along this because again, this absorbs heat up to 500 degrees. So you can iron this and make this nice and flat, make a nice seam line. Then I'm going to lay this on here so you can see it a little bit better. So this is a great scrap buster. If you've made some placemats, you could probably make with your scraps, make some of these to go along with it. It'd be just fun gifts. So once you've done this, you're going to put your you're going to put a border on each side. I haven't trimmed these down, but you're going to put a border on each side. Border on top and bottom. You know, right sides together, stitch it, flip it, just like you would do any other border that you're making. This is going to be really cute. I love it. Love this one. So once you've done that, you're ready to quilt it. So I took mine because I'm going to bind mine. So now I layer my top fabric. And again, when I forgot to tell you one thing. Okay. So, and again, when you stitched your fabric onto this, your fabric and your border is going on top of your silicone, so you're stitching on the fabric and not on the silicone. They have you put like an extra piece of fabric underneath the mat to give it a little bit more body. I didn't do that on my first one, and this one is okay, but you can see it's a little bit floppy. And I found that when I got done with my top and it looks like this, I flipped it over and I took a scrap of iron-on interfacing, probably an SF 101, something like that, a woven iron-on interfacing, and I ironed it onto the back of my project, cut it down to size, ironed it onto the back, just like that. And that gives it some nice body so that it's a little bit stiffer. So you can see this one's a lot stiffer than this one, which I liked. Yeah, it just looks better. It gives it a more finished look. Then at that point, I took a scrap of batting. I used, this is actually Hoop Sisters Battleizer, which I like a lot. And I have that by the bolt. And used up my scraps, put my back on, and all I did was stitch in the ditch all the way around. And I did stitch in the ditch right along this, again, with like a number 3 stitch, maybe a 3.5 stitch, but I think it was still at 3. I just stitched in the ditch all the way around, and then just like on this one, I just made an X and then a cross. Done! And on this, I'm just going to put the binding, and I'll be good to go. Really quick, easy, fun project, and they're really, really super cute. You can make these, you can make a ton of these for Christmas gifts this year.
Very cool.
Yeah, they're very cool. Very nice little gift, and you know, maybe with a little some tea or a cup, or you know, make a little gift pack. PP20 gets you 20% off these tonight. Be sure to like us and comment so that your name goes in for the drawing tonight. The other thing that I have to show you and demonstrate tonight is these Quilt As You Go placemats. We've had quite a few different ones. This one is kind of new. It has some flying geese, but you do not have to make the flying geese and cut them down to size and sew them on. This is all Quilt As You Go, and I'm going to show you how that works right now. So I made my first one out of, yes, that really cute. I love this. Like I said, I love this. Did I say I love this fabric?
You did.
I did. You know me in red, white, and blue, you guys. You know I love red, white, and blue. Plus a little gold and green in there. Really kind of shakes it up a little bit. So this is my first placemat, and I was making the mug rugs out of the scraps from this. So doesn't take much to make one. So let me tell you how this works. So this is my front, this is my back. Really fun and simple. It took me maybe half hour to do this, start to finish. So I still have to put my binding on. So in your package, you will get 4 placemats, and these placemats finish at, I forgot, 19 by 15. So they're a good size. They're a really nice size placemat. So here's what you'll get: 4 of these in your package. You're going to trim it down like I did. Then you will add, where's my partway done? Here it is. I have one that's partway done to show you. So you will add your backing fabric, and I fused my backing fabric to the back of the placemat, Quilt As You Go placemat shape. I used bone ash, but you could also use a 505 spray, and I adhere it right to the back of the placemat. Okay, then you're ready to start making your flying geese. So you'll be cutting, and it tells you what size to cut your squares, and you're actually going to be making triangles and squares. And I feel like I lost my triangles and squares. Uh-oh. I totally lost my triangles and squares. Okay, at any rate. Things that make you go, huh. I always lose something. What have I got here? Okay, you're going to start out by putting your first triangle down. I have all those triangles. They're probably with my glue sticks that I left at home too. But I had glue sticks in my pack here. You're going to start, what they'll have you do is cut squares for your inside triangle and cut them in half diagonally once. Then they're going to have you cut the white squares, and those will be a different size. All of those measurements are in your instructions. You'll cut your square in half diagonally once to make triangles to go on each side of this. Okay, then it will give you the measurements for your inner border and measurements for your 2 outer pieces. Okay, you can do that. Pretty simple. So you can mix it up any way, shape, or form you want. So I took mine, where'd you go? Right here. And although these are made out of the same fabrics, I didn't make them exactly the same. So they're going to coordinate, but they're not exactly the same. And I kind of like that. And I'm not going to put this blue fabric out here. I think I'm going to maybe put the white fabric out there that I had in my little guy here. I think I'm going to put this white fabric on here as my big fabric here. But then I thought, if Joe Potter eats off of it, off of the white placemat, there could be a situation. So I might have to rethink the white, but we'll see. So you can make them out of the same fabrics, but mix up your fabrics and make it really cute. The other problem, not problem, but the other issue that I had was when I first laid my first white piece over the top of this to quilt and, to stitch and flip, I realized that when I flipped my white fabric over, I could see the number coming through that blue. Yeah, so that did not put me in my happy place. So what I did was I took and I interfaced the back of my white fabric so that those numbers would not show through as I went along. So I just took, again, a scrap of that SF 101 or some other lightweight interfacing that you have in your stash. Scraps will work. Just put it on the back of those squares, and that's what I did to make these, so that it doesn't show through, because that kind of puts you did not put me in my happy place. So the first thing you're going to do is lay down your first triangle. So you'll have your first triangle, and these are all numbered. So it's quilt by number, girls. You can do this as quilt by number. So the first thing you're going to do is put that triangle down that I don't have and didn't bring. So so your triangle is going to fit right along here. I know you girls get it. So you guys are going to get this, use a glue stick, and I glued my triangle onto this square or triangle right here. That's my number 1. You don't have to do anything else. Lay it right side up, and I just put a little dab of my glue stick on here just to hold it in place as I went along. Then you're going to put number 2, and number 2 is a triangle. Number 2 is your triangle that goes on each side. So you do the same thing, and you can see these little notches right here and here. That's where you're going to kind of line up the edge of your triangle. And I'm going to show it to you on this one. You can kind of see it at the end. So I left this one undone. So you can see how there's a little notch here and a little notch up on top, notch here, notch down here. And that's where the points of my triangle are going to line up. And then I stitch that at 1/4 inch, and I'll flip it over. And see that it was the same thing over here. You can see the little notches on this side and up on top. You line up those triangles with those notches. They tell you exactly where to go. Make sure that you have a nice 1/4 inch stitch. I did move my stitch length to 3 on these. It's suggested that you do that on this. So, and then you just simply stitch and flip. I use my little bitty iron to press these as I go along. So I give it a nice press, and then I go on to the next one. So, which leads me to our discussion on these little steam fast irons. So I think if you've looked out on the internet, you've seen recalls for these. So let me tell you a little bit about how the recall works and whether or not your iron qualifies for a recall. Okay, so everything that I'm telling you is on the internets. All you have to do is Google. If you start Googling steam fast iron recall will come up. Okay, so mostly we have sold the ones with the little green knobs on them. We've sold these a lot. We've sold them for years. So if you have one that is dated between, I'm going to get my dates right here, between between January 2008 and March 2017, your iron is part of the recall. How do you know if you have one? I'm going to show you the big picture. So this printed out large for me. So on the back of your iron, right back here on this little butt, look at the butt of your iron. It has that little silver label on it. And on there it will say like January 17. Mine says January 22 on the back of this. So I know that mine is okay. All the ones that we've been selling, recently are all okay. So if it is not okay, if it says January 17 or anything between January 2008 and March 2017, you will get your iron is part of the recall. Don't bring it to me. Nothing I can do about it. And it says that right on the website. What you need to do, they have a form that you fill out and you send to them, and they will give you a refund of $19.99. So what you can do, because we're talking about this iron tonight, check your iron. If it's part of the recall, you can get your $20 back, and these are on our website for 20% off. So by the time you get your refund and the 20% off, a brand new one will be almost free. So it's good. So the problem with the iron is that this little thing is really short, apparently, so they weren't put together correctly. So this can get really hot and start on fire. It can also kind of short a fire. You don't want to start a fire. And you can also get shocked by it as well. So if you have one, you do want to kind of get rid of it and get your refund and get a brand new one, because they really are nice. Trade up, honey. Yeah, you betcha. They're really nice little irons. I use this all the time. So that's my story on that. Any questions on how that recall works? Because people were coming into the store and asking about it, and I will leave this information at our register, So if you have any questions, the girls can help you out with that. But yeah, get some money back and get a new iron, because they are really, if you have one and you've used it, you know how good it is. We've had the little Olicio ones that are colored, and we've decided we really don't like those because a lot of times the top of it gets really hot. And that doesn't happen with this. You can put water in it, so you can, it is a steam iron as well. Yeah, so it works really well. The only thing that I like but don't like is that it doesn't automatically shut off. So I have to remember to turn it off, where my other irons automatically turn off, so I don't have to worry about it. But the little one you do have to shut off as you go along. Okay, any questions on that? So, yeah. So PP20 gets you 20% off a brand new one, recall free one. So they're all good. We've checked all of the irons that we have in stock, and the company that we get them from also said that they checked theirs in the last few months before sending them, and they're all new. They've all been made since before 2017. So excellent. So that's my story on that. All righty. I have a quilt back here to show you. This is called Vintage Stars. Yep, Vintage Stars. And you come closer. It is made out of this line of fabric, which is called Sweet Liberty. I forgot. Sweet Liberty. It is, because I always think Sweet Liberty should be red, white, and blue. And it sort of is red, white, and blue, but not really red, white, and blue. Kind of a shabby chic red, white, and blue, and you can go down here and catch these. That's part of the line. The quilt that we showed you is 56 by 64. So the quilt is 56 by 64. Nice throw size, lap size. So just a really pretty shabby chic fabric by Moda. Really fun to do, fun and simple. Makes a very pretty quilt. Yeah, so you can see that quilting on there is really fun too. She did some big flowers on there with some vines, so those are very sweet. So kind of gives it a nice look, so you can get something in this kind of white space that's in here. Yes? Steam Fast. STEAMFAST. All one word. Steam Fast. Iron Fast. Okay. What else do I have to show you? Do I show you everything? Yes. I have? Joe's like, yes. Yes. I think I've seen everything. Don't forget to like us and share us. And that will get your name in for a gift card. I do have one more thing to show. Subscribe on YouTube so that you don't miss a thing. Not a thing. Next Monday, don't forget, is So What Club. Oh, that was what I was going to tell you too. I had a list of classes, kind of a list of events and things that are happening. I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget, and then I, of course, put my note away. Oh my God. Stop the presses. Get ready. Limber up your fingers. We're going to have a skinny bolt sale. Are you ready? Are you guys ready for a skinny bolt sale? Monday, June 5th at 6 o'clock. So what, maybe 3 weeks away? Oh, three Mondays away. Yes. Skinny bolt sale, 6 o'clock, right here. Yes, Joe loves skinny bolt sale. So skinny bolt sale, June 5th, Monday. Don't forget that. Our Shop Hop preview party. Shop Hop is coming up. It's the whole month of June. And the fabric and projects are ready to go, and we're ready for it. So Wednesday, May 17th from 3:30 to 5:30, right here in the store, will be our Shop Hop preview party. You'll be able to see all the projects that we make. You can pre-order your kits and your fabrics so that you're sure to get what you want. And you can pick up your actual order on June 1st, which will be the first day of the Shop Hop. We can't let you out of the store with the fabric before that, or the Shop Hop police will take us away and you'll never see us again. So join us for the Shop Hop preview party. It's a lot of fun. You get a goodie bag and treats and snacks, so it's a nice way to sit and chat with the other ladies. And there'll be a big sale too. So you're not going to want to miss that. And I already told you about the painting classes, so you're not going to want to miss those. Sign up for those. Anything else that you need to know about? Any questions? thank you for joining us for Patchwork Party tonight. Be sure to join us the next second Monday of June, whatever that date is. Don't know. But the 12th. Oh, they know already. They're looking forward to it already. Monday, June 12th is our next Patchwork Party, and we hope to see you then. Don't forget to like us, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we will see you very soon. Thank you.